Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Chubby Guys podcast. Who we got tonight, Chad?
Oh, tonight we got Ben Copher, local kickboxer who just finished his first fight.
He talks about going against a guy that had already had 9 fights under his belt, the difference between team sports and individuals. You don't want to miss this one. This guy's great. He's one of our all-time favorite guests, repeat guest.
Oh, heck yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah, and hey, check out our website at chubbyguyspodcast.com, and don't forget to thank our sponsors.
Buy some merch. Hey, Pudge, what time is it?
It's time for the Chubby Guys podcast.
Woo!
Did you go? How many? Did you tally up how many hours you trained for this fight?
Oh, it's been, it's 6 years. And since
6 years.
Well, 5 years, sorry.
Well, no wonder you kicked the guy's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hitting pads and heavy bag work.
So the whole time I've been over boxing with you, you've been secretly training for this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to be on the hunt for a fight. But it's, you're always trying to improve the craft and sharpen the blade.
skills. Yeah.
So
what was it like, dude? Okay, so you go in the ring.
Hey, do you want to help develop your child's athletic ability? Or maybe you want to get off the couch and make yourself a little bit better? They earn the day at AP Prep. Look them up, apprep.info.
okay.
How big is this dude? Because you're a big dude.
6'2", I think he weighed in like 269.
You 6'4"?
6'6".
You're 6'6".
And
Yes.
what was his experience? That he
was a 3-time West Virginia Tough Man champion.
Okay.
And he had 6 amateur boxing matches, I think.
Okay.
Does that put it? So he has his pro card in on the amateur.
He could. I think I'm not sure how many fights you have to have before you can have your
He had
pro
6,
license.
so he's 9
but-
fights deep.
Yeah. So
kick his ass?
So he was.
heard of it.
He was a tough. He's a tough human being.
Yeah.
So watching some of his boxing matches, he generates a lot of power and has a chin. And his center of gravity, like his mass, was literally
Big mass
from
guy.
his hips to his shoulders, like all 260 was right there.
Yeah.
So I saw him prior to the fight, and I was bigger than him frame wise, but he still can just tell he's a stout human being. And so, I was fight number 8. I think there's 15 fights total.
Yeah.
So it's about right in the middle of the card. So the worst part, just like in football, the worst part is the wait. It's sitting and waiting, and your mind goes different places. What's going to happen?
What time do you get to is it state? What is it? High school?
Yeah,
What?
Parkersburg South High School, West Virginia.
Okay.
So we went. I think we left. It was 12:30 or 12:45. Get there. It was maybe like right at 3. Weigh in, sign all the paperwork, get the licenses, that kind of stuff. And I think I fought. It was probably close to 8.
That night.
7:45. Yeah,
That's a lot of time to fill, man.
A lot of time. So you're seeing people walk around. You're seeing your opponent walk around their corner. I'm just trying to be as relaxed, calm as possible because, you can't panic 5 hours before the fight.
Right.
So it's just trying to keep things light and jovial, just be calm.
You see him
Yeah, I saw him
before
prior
the
to
fight. Well,
Yeah,
just
for like the
weigh-ins. I mean,
fi-
after weigh-ins is like getting married. You don't see him till it's time.
No, it was so like the fighters meeting. We're all standing around. I mean, it's everybody that's going to fight on the card is within 10, 15 feet of each other. So there's no trash talk or anything like that. I'm not.
I was gonna say, was it pretty quiet? I mean,
Yeah,
respectful.
Nobody's that was there is like that. Nobody's trying to pull a McGregor, act tough, and it's all that stuff to me is just so silly because especially when you're at the professional level. I mean, you're getting paid lots of cash
Well, that's why
to go fight. So
Yeah.
Well, but their trash talk is why they get paid lots of
but
money.
Just be respectful, be cool.
Yeah.
You both are in there for the same reason.
I kinda like the
and
shit
earn a
talk.
living.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch, and I enjoy it. When Connor, is ripping pictures of Jose Aldo in half. And
Yeah.
is, asking people who they are. And,
Who the fuck is that
yeah,
guy?
exactly. Like, that's awesome. You love to see it, but as an opponent, it's just like let's just respect it.
yeah.
So yeah, long wait, and we get ready. The guy comes to the back, kind of calls us in. So it's me, Jason, and Kevin Weingartner. And so we're like leading up to the ring, and they start playing music, and we didn't pick like a walkout song. And the guy like kind of turns to us, is like, "Is this your song?" And I'm like, we didn't have a song. I was like, all right, let's go. So then we just start walking out there. Where I look, and the guy that I'm fighting is walking out at the same time. I'm like, okay, this is kind of odd because usually it's 1-on-1. And so we get to the ring. And
Same time.
Walk up the steps, and they introduce us. Ben Copher, Eli Kerr, was the guy I was fighting. And then it's like, all right, mouthpiece, and like just smile, mouthpiece, like cup, yep, good. It's like go. And so there was, it's not like football, where it's like, all right, heads or tails, defense, okay, sit, wait, and then it's like, first down, all right, we're gonna run the inside zone. It's like, right, good, yeah, all right, go, and then it's just like, okay, now you're trying to knock each other's heads in. So it's
how many rounds was it scheduled for?
3 2-minute rounds.
Okay, and it went all 3 rounds.
Went the full distance, yeah. So
that's a long time.
It was, it was a long time. I mean,
the third round probably takes forever.
Yeah, it gets to the point where, so the first round I opened up, and so I throw a lot of leg kicks, and I like throwing a lot of kicks. And so the first round opens up, and the first leg kick I hit him with, his leg stays real strong. Like his leg doesn't buckle hardly at all. I was like, wow.
Was that all you had? Would you give him all you had?
It was probably 80%. So I was like, oh, this could be trouble. Like, if I can't affect him with my leg kicks, we're going to have a problem. And the next one I threw, his leg buckled, like turned his knee completely in or out. I can't remember which one I hit. And I was like, all right, now we can do some damage. So the video, like you're watching the fight back, you can hear every single one of them hit. And how he didn't go down, how he could still walk.
How old a guy is this?
Couldn't tell you.
What did you guess him at?
It's probably 35 or so.
He looked a little older.
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just
kind of a disadvantage, to be honest with you. I mean, you're still young.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of leg conditioning they do in West Virginia, but I'd like
Jesus
the
Christ, they're goats.
Yes. So
they live on the hill.
I was so perplexed at how many times I was kicking his leg in full speed, 100%, and it was just, it slowed him down.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was still standing was very like, wow, this guy has strong legs.
Was he delivering some blows too?
Yeah, he caught me with the.
Looks like he caught you in that lefty.
That was. This is actually from sparring.
Did you fight with that?
Oh yeah.
You fought with a black eye?
It was worse than what it is now.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, we're a week out now.
Yeah.
Almost.
So he caught me with a stiff cross, like right up my nose. Caught me with a stiff cross. Couple jabs, and he caught me with a body shot right at the end of the fight that landed perfect. And he threw heavy body shots.
Yeah,
but that was the one that stuck out the most. But outside of that, it wasn't anything like too crazy.
What about you? How many did you land? How many good ones?
A lot of leg kicks. Landed a couple head kicks, a couple body kicks. Like,
my God, as a parent of an 8-year-old with a family and moving through life, the best thing I ever did was download the McDonald's app. What a breeze. Order for your family. Pull up. They bring it to you. Easy. Download the app today from McDonald's.
But
you caught him in the head.
His hand was still up, but you can see, if you're watching the video, you can see his head and body kind of shift over. So it wasn't super flush, but still like hitting pads, sparring, stuff like that. When I'm used to throwing head kicks, and it kind of not stops people, but gets people to kind of hesitate a little bit. Didn't affect him one bit. So
he's been there before.
Yes, exactly. So hats off to him. I mean,
so like
tough.
you guys left the ring with a very healthy mutual respect.
Oh yeah, he was super cool. After the fight, I immediately turned to Jason and was like, I don't know if that went my way. Because he landed a couple shots and had me
crowd-ers.
Yeah, so he had me kind of crowded and hit me with a couple shots that were like pretty firm. So just off of overall damage of what you see to the face, I'm like, I don't know if that went my way. But so then when they read the decision and lifted my hand, it was awesome. But he immediately walked over to the corner, shook our hands. Super cool. And I did the same thing to his corner, and that's how it should be.
What was your game plan going in? So I know you and Prater probably had the first 2 rounds at least planned, hoping you would seal the deal by at least 3/4 through the second.
Yeah. So he likes to load. He was an orthodox fighter, so means his left foot is forward, and he throws a lot of bombs, like lots of power shots. So I'm comfortable going both stances. So I started off southpaw and to circle away from his power. And so constantly circling to my right keeps me away from his right hand, and then also puts him towards my strength, which is
off balance too for him.
So it's just different, kind of a different look. So that was the main game plan, was just stay away from his power. And that's what we did for the most part.
But I mean, did you have an attack plan? Or was it just leg kicks, find an opening?
It's lots of leg kicks, and then starting set people up, because you can get people to hesitate a lot when they come in. After they throw combinations, when you finish
bust that temple,
leg kick,
and they're going to raise that hand the next time.
Exactly. So same thing with like head kicks, body kicks, and that's my strength. I mean, is staying away from people's power and using my strongest asset, which is my legs. So
and your reach.
Yeah. So I had a reach advantage on him. And
how far? 4 inches?
Probably 4 inches. So.
That's a big deal, dude.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Well, did he try to attack your legs at all, or did
He
he have trouble getting inside?
Leg kicks, but not. So you could tell he just wasn't super comfortable, like with the distance part of it. It's not his strength. His strength was march forward, throw bombs, power shots, drop to the bottom.
Is he kind of country boyish? I say that as like a.
He won those tough man contests.
Yeah, he's just he's a tough guy. His boxing is solid. Like his boxing, you can tell in the way that he moves, his defense, his boxing is solid.
Yeah.
But kickboxing it adds another realm of distance and adds another realm of attack.
Was this something new for him to try?
He's never kickboxed before.
Okay.
So is he going to talk to him again?
No, I haven't talked to him.
You going to do another?
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
I bet it was.
It was a rush.
And to know you survived an organized fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be like climbing a mountain.
And see, it was it's win, lose, or draw. It was going to be something I was going to do.
Nobody breaking that up wondering.
No.
That ain't out back.
No, exactly.
Ain't nobody breaking that up
and
wondering.
See, that's the part that's beautiful about it, is that, Jason and I were talking about this before, is that a lot of people talk about, wanting to fight, compete, doing it, stuff like that, but actually doing it is two different things. That's why I said
what's the difference?
Just the level of competition. Football for me was something that, if you make a mistake, you're rarely the one that's going to get punished. If you run the wrong route, if you, miss a tackle, if you do this or that, you're not physically getting punished.
Yeah, you missed a play.
Mental.
Yeah, right.
This is, if you make a mistake, you're physically getting punished.
Like you could get knocked out.
Exactly. And that's
anybody get knocked out down there?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it had some lights out.
Yeah, not people getting crushed, but there were people that got seriously.
Could you imagine like a guy like Nate Diaz, who's what, $145?
Fights 170.
Fights 170.
Yeah,
Can you? I'm serious. How much you weigh, Tyler? Can you imagine Tyler Gillum being able to knock you out one punch?
Yeah,
I mean I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean think of the power and the preciseness.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about that training, man, and the technique, and
Well, their timing is just impeccable.
Sleeping you.
The small, like minute. No, I don't mean to sound like I'm some pro fighter that's got 50 fights.
Yeah.
Like Lance Phillips would be another great person to talk to about this. Any small window that you allow them to have, they take advantage of it right away. That's the biggest difference between. So
you're coming in the ring. You're saying you're coming in there. You got you go, and so immediately the game of chess starts on. Yeah. Okay, where's this guy's hole?
Correct.
Where do I feel like I can get him at? Now it's time to set him up for that.
Right.
So I mean, you're coming into that. How far ahead? Like, okay, and I've never done this. So so how does this work as far as how many? How, like, in pool, they always say, you ought to be 4 or 5 shots ahead with every shot.
Okay. Yeah.
Knowing what's going to, where everything's going to land up. How far are you, or is there a way to gauge? And I know it's, you can't gauge everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, and then.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways you can set things up like that.
Hey, are you a business owner looking for insurance coverage? Give this guy a call. You know him. You trust him. Jason Gillum, Gillum Insurance, 740-395-0190.
It's just, and again, not to say that, I've got 50 pro fights.
Well, you got more than I do.
Like that. So
you got more than everybody in the room.
You can tell, just watching like videos from like Dwayne Ludwig, the guy I went to go see in Colorado. You can tell by the things that they do, the setups that they have, and why they're doing it that way. So so if you're a southpaw and he's orthodox and he loves circling to his right to throw a big right hand, well, he's circling into your left leg. So if I throw inside leg kicks, 2 or 3 of them, the next time you go to circle and you expect a low inside leg kick and it comes up to the head, now your body positioning may be a little bit different.
Right.
So that's like the art of being able to like reload. Like if you've ever watched Boss Rutan fight, like that's how he used to tear people up, was off of reloads. And it's because we're used to throwing combinations where it's left, right, or left, low, round kick, or left, right leg. Well, he did things a lot differently. It was left, or left, right. So the reload part of it, that's what allows you to kind of set an opening up. Yeah.
Then, so Ben, like, 3 2-minute rounds. Did that feel longer or shorter than what you anticipated?
How's your shape?
Shorter. Well, you can always be in better shape. That's the one thing I'll take away from
Why?
it.
Just like football, you're coming out, adrenaline's up.
Yeah, you can. I would think you can just always be in better shape. 2 things I think you can always have is be in better shape and have better footwork.
I mean, because you're talking 6 minutes.
Yeah,
but it's 6 minutes.
That's what I mean. It probably felt like more than 6 minutes.
So
it did.
2-minute round, 1-minute break.
Yeah. So I'm used to when I go up to Columbus at Ronan, I spar there for 5 minutes at a time, with 30 seconds of a break. But the intensity is also a lot different. So. I've never sparred with intensity
for a trophy.
No, not like that. So that's the difference there. In football, you can kind of replicate game speed when it comes to practice and intensity, but in sparring, unless there's a mutual agreement, it's like, hey, this is going to be a little bit harder. That's how you wind up getting knocked out. It's how you get injured, stuff like that.
Right. That's stupid.
Yeah. So, and you're only going to go through so many of those. So, like you're only going to go through so many hard sparring sessions. You're only going to go through so many hard fights and wars before you're just done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot different when it comes to conditioning for sparring up there and conditioning for actual fight.
Yeah, and so like you thought though overall that it went kind of fast.
Yes. So the 2-minute part that back to like the part where you're talking about like setups and like traps, you don't have as much time to set that kind of stuff up.
Right. Like were you sitting there thinking, man, I wish we were going 6 rounds?
Yeah. So
because, like, I'm just now getting in the feel for this.
Yes.
Man.
So there gets to the point, it's like just like a football, basketball probably more than anything, there becomes like a rhythm of up and down the floor.
Right.
And so
and there's no timeout.
There's no timeouts. Yeah. So the rhythm of the fight, only 2 minutes, it can benefit somebody that brawls because 2 minutes is not that much time. So if you come out strong like what he did for 30 seconds right off the cuff,
he throwing haymakers right off the cuff.
It wants to get you into a corner and beat you up. And 30 seconds in, that can work.
He probably thought he'd just bully you into a corner, push you around, being a big frame guy like he was.
That can work. I mean, Derek Lewis he's a top 10, top 15 UFC fighter. That's what he does. He comes off strong, and if you can survive those 30 seconds, then the fight kind of slows down. Yeah. So, but yeah, the pace, 2 minutes just seems very short. So the traps that you're trying to set up, there can only be 3 or 4 of them, because if you're trying to set stuff up for 2 rounds, then the last round you've spent trying to just get that same look out of it, which it may not happen.
Right.
So
did the third round, was it different? Like, were you feeling like going into it like, hey man, I've got to come out here. I mean, this is a desperate situation. I'm trying to knock this
Prater
guy
in your
out.
corner?
What's
he telling you? Third round coming in.
Oh, he said,
is he jacked up? Is he on? Is he on monsters?
He was it wasn't on monsters. He was pumped up, but it comes from a place of love. I mean, we've done this we've talked about this for
years,
over a year, and talked about somebody competing since I started hitting pads. And so it's just been something that it all came to a head. Like when he raised I still can't hardly talk about it. When I think back to it, just everything that happened, and it's so silly because it's one amateur fight, one amateur kickboxing match. But when I walked out of the cage or walked out of the ring, it got checked on by the doctor, I stood up and I just immediately started bawling. Because it's just everything that we had talked about, everything that we had worked for, it all came to fruition in 6 minutes, and then it was over.
Well, and you know what though, man? You think about that. A lot of people go their whole lives and don't have one moment like that.
Right.
So I mean, it's pretty cool.
So it was. I'm getting choked up about
that's not.
Right
I mean, you're a football player. You were. I was. That's not the same.
No, it's not.
Team sports are different.
They're
It's
different.
different.
I mean,
So-
what you did is something that I can see where that would get in your gut.
And so the thing, like talking about team
One-off.
sport versus individual sport, is that in high school, like I had, obviously everybody has the opportunity to wrestle, but I was just like, man, I don't know if I could deal with that, like getting physically beat by somebody else, and it's just you. There's
Yeah.
no one else.
Nowhere to
blame
hide.
anybody.
There's nowhere to hide.
No,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
get your ass whooped in wrestling, you get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
And it's you.
And
It ain't the coach's fault.
It's your blame.
Yeah.
And so my attitude now versus that is I would rather have that happen than be on a team.
And be pissed at it. You couldn't control it.
Exactly. So those things to me are what
You think that's
benefits.
getting older? You think it's just part of getting older?
Oh, it's 100% getting older. Yeah. And just being able to, accept more responsibility and things because everything in your life is your fault, whether it be positive or negative. So if things are going well, you did it. If things are going bad, you probably did it as well. Obviously, you get bad shake, and you hit luck on things in life and sports and whatever it may be.
Conor McGregor, breaking his leg.
Exactly.
Hey, guys, on behalf of the Chubbies, huge thanks to Geiger Brothers Construction. Give them a call at 740-286-0800. They've been great community supporters, and they are a friend of the Chubby program, so thank you, Geiger Brothers Construction.
Exactly.
That's, you can.
Some of that stuff you can't control, but a lot of it, I feel like you kind of make it what it is. So
We talk about it, Chad, and I talk about it. I mean, if you ever decide to hit a knee, and you guys ever have kids, I see how I do it.
Yeah.
But we talk about it all the time with these young boys of ours. And I'm starting to see I never looked at it this way. And it's not that I'm thinking. I'm just thinking of it differently now. But it's like, okay, now you're in a position where I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about my son. And where do you interject him? And maybe team sports, individual sports, and team sports are almost two different worlds.
it is.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I hadn't really thought about that until in the last year or so.
Well, and I think at different kids or men, women, whatever, certain people are more geared towards individual sports
Might
than
be.
what they are.
Well,
I
but
agree.
just like he's saying, I guess to circle around to that, he's gotten a little bit older. We all have, and we understand the value behind that individuality, and it's like, okay, so now I'm seeing this different.
Yeah.
And it's, so I think that's incredible to even do it. And you're kind of old to be doing it.
And the other thing, like to go back to your point, everything that I've ever done sport wise has always been like as a unit. Like it's a unit. Offensive line is a unit. It's not one position.
Right.
And in basketball, I never wanted to shoot. I never wanted the ball. I just wanted to set screens, rebound, and block shots and foul people. That was all I wanted to do.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what was best for everybody else. I've never been somebody in a sport that's been like, I'm going to do something for me.
Yeah, look at
So,
me, man.
Yes, and that's just
Probably why you're dangerous in the ring.
yeah, something like that.
Well, I mean,
seriously,
yeah.
because you finally are.
I can't imagine the feeling that you must have had. Like, to your point, you had this goal, for 6 years
Yeah,
to get out there and do it.
yeah,
Then you did it. You not only did it, but you won.
right.
Which, I mean, hell, I'd say you'd probably still felt pretty good if win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, I did
my
because
God.
the thing is, so we got done, and my dad was there. I told my mom 2 days before the fight because I didn't want her there.
You didn't want
so,
to hear it? Yeah.
So then, and then I didn't really tell a whole lot of people from the gym about it. And next thing I know, like I'm seeing people left, right, and center that are all from there. And at the end of it, we were all standing outside, and we took a picture together. And I've looked at that picture a couple times since then. And 5 years ago, I knew Jason, Gabe Griffiths, and Jeff Benson. 3
was it?
people. There was probably 35 to 40 people in that group,
I saw
and
the
I knew
photo.
I knew 3
I didn't see
of
that.
them. And that just
Where can I see this fight?
it's-
I've been looking. I can't find it.
it'll be on YouTube. It'll be YouTube
Okay.
because they'll put
It's
up
not
a link
out
to
yet.
it, and it's not out yet. And that to me, like that's the part where it's like win, lose, or draw. It's like all these people are here. I knew none of them 5 years ago, and all these people took time out of their schedule, time out of their weekend to come here and support somebody. And that, it's just that it's like family to me.
That's really
It's-
cool, man.
It's
Just you,
I mean,
not the
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Just you.
and that's the other thing. It's just
I mean,
it's
does
just me.
that kind of move you?
Oh
a
yeah,
little
that's
bit?
why I said
Like,
it's. I haven't been able to. So I work for Kevin, who was in my corner,
Okay, yeah.
and I talked to him about it, and I've seen Jason. It's just like I can't like legitimately look at some of these pictures or some of the video or think back to it without literally getting emotional, getting choked up.
Right.
Because it's just not, it has nothing to do with the fighting part. It just has everything to do with the support.
The life.
And that's because that's awesome.
Well, that's what I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to, blow the guy too hard, but I mean, Prater and AP Prep. It's a life.
Yeah,
like what they do over there. I mean, it made me for a period of time look forward to Chillicothe.
Yeah.
Like I love going to Chillicothe, going to AP Prep. Just felt ingrained, and you're explaining that basically.
And that's all those people I would can call me anytime, talk to me about anything.
Yeah,
it's like a family, and that's when people ask me, it's like, why are you living in Chillicothe? It's just like, I can't explain to you what I'm going through, like the people that I'm with, and the experiences that I've enjoyed while I've been there.
Yeah,
you can't put a dollar amount on it. You can't fake it. It's all real.
Right.
And so that part, it was awesome.
Are you hearing the crowd? Okay, so you're in there, you're ducking, you're slipping. Are you hearing the crowd, or are you just hearing your corner?
Yeah. So we can cuss on here. Right?
Oh,
okay.
Sure.
So about midway through the second round, swear on my life, it's the kind of, it becomes like a lull in the action, and if the video doesn't blurt it out, you'll hear it. There's do you guys remember that video? It's probably been 2 years ago or so. It was at a MMA match, and the guy stands up and he's like, rip his dick off and twist it, grab his dick and twist it. Okay. I swear, plain as day. You hear it? You can hear it in the ring. I heard it as it was going on. As we're moving around, I just hear, rip his dick off. I was like, is that really happening? Like, did that really just happen?
Talking to him or me?
Yeah, exactly.
Just get your dick ripped off.
I was just like, oh my God. So hear that. Okay. And then I'm hearing Jason constantly saying, circle to your right, circle to your right, circle to your right. And then too low, too high, calling out different combinations, things for us to do. Excuse me. And I'm hearing some just, go Ben, stuff like that from the crowd. So just from people that were from the gym.
When this is over, like next day, could you tell you'd been in a three round?
Yeah. So my left shin all the way down from like the mid part of my shin all the way down to my foot is like bruised and swollen real bad. Yeah. And then
you kicked yet?
No, I kicked him.
No, I mean, have you kicked yet? Since
yeah. Let's see.
This was just 4 days ago. Bud.
Yeah, I went back to boxing Wednesday night and took it fairly.
It's been 5 days ago.
Yeah, and then
I tried to get back. I want to get back so bad.
You
I just
need
couldn't talk to family. No, I'm at Saturday. I was trying to get back. I just couldn't get the family motivated.
That's all right. They'll be there. They'll be there.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the next one.
And and then my nose hurt a little bit, but outside of that, it was fun.
You know, I think you won.
What?
Well, you had our name on your shorts.
Yeah, I did. That I did. The shorts.
Thank you for that.
The shorts were dialed in.
Really
that was all Jason.
I know it was. He called me. He said, "You got a logo?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm gonna put you on Prater or on Copher shorts."
Yeah,
I was like,
it was.
Hell yeah.
It was dialed in. He pulled them out, and it was just like I was in the UFC. It's just like those are sweet, and I put them on. Immediately started training with him. It was fantastic.
I think the next time you go, I think we're just gonna take a whole group.
Okay.
Bring a bus down there.
Yeah, we might just take a bus.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We will be intimidating as Team Copher.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whenever we roll up, we got your name on the side of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Were your hands sore?
Stretch limo.
Because you're throwing harder.
Yeah.
And what size gloves are you in?
16.
That's good.
Yeah. No, they weren't sore at all. Jason wrapped my hands, taped my hands. And that is like, if you've never experienced that, it's like you could punch through center blocks. Like your hands feel so secure, and your wrists feel so stable. Like everything just feels so solid. Yeah. So it's way better than regular hand wraps, but it takes a lot of time.
Well, the 16 ounces that was good. You're not losing teeth.
No, nothing
easy.
like that. Yeah.
Huh? How was it? Was that your first fight without the headgear? I mean, I know it's your first fight, but I mean, is that the first time you really sparred without headgear?
No, I spar without headgear all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
So how did that work down there?
My face is already ugly enough.
She doesn't believe that.
I know. I got her fooled.
So whenever you did that, so you're the 8th fight. So like, who was the premier? I mean, what was that?
There was a couple like title fights, and those guys were super solid.
So is that what you're trying to get into?
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to get. I mean, they're pros. I mean, they're not making a living.
So this wasn't
a
circuit. It was just like a one-off. What was this event?
It was called Southside Rumble, and it's just a West Virginia promotion. So the guy's name is Mike Shepard, who actually has a really storied boxing career.
Okay.
but he just puts on like trying to kind of get back to the sport that he loved. So
Okay. So, like, what is your path now? I mean,
what now?
stay amateur, or
yeah. So I stay amateur till I get to the point where I feel comfortable enough to go to the pro level, because pro you don't wear any shin guards.
yeah,
And it's more free reign. So like on that card, you couldn't throw any kicks lower than the knee. You were
Okay.
kind of supposed to stay away from the knee, and you're wearing shin guards.
yeah.
So it kind of ramps up a little bit. But it's never going to be something that I'm going to make like a living off of. It'd be
Right,
something
okay.
that makes some money, but that's not the reason for it anyway.
No, I know.
So
I mean,
it's
but
just-
would you like to see, like, hey man, how far can I go?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
on
absolutely.
one of these circuits, like
Yeah.
maybe try to fight in a championship fight or
Yeah,
something.
it would be a blast. I mean, that's what life's all about, is testing yourself.
And
that's
do you
the
have to
ultimate
do you
test.
have to go pro to do that, or like, are there
They have amateur belts in kickboxing, but
Okay.
it's usually pros, kind of the main focus.
How many amateur fights do you do before you start thinking, okay, maybe I'll get my
4,
pro card?
6, 8,
Okay.
depending on how it's going.
Okay.
Depending on how you're
Okay.
feeling. Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I'm
gonna
really-
be fun
I'm really
to watch.
fired
too.
It was a
Yeah.
blast, man. It was so much fun.
Well, I mean, hey, congratulations.
Yeah,
first
thank
and
you. I
foremost,
appreciate it.
man.
I don't
mean,
want to go back over to class. I feel like you're going to be meaner. Is he meaner?
No.
At class now?
No.
He was brutal. I hated it whenever I'd walk in there and I'd see your
No,
fat
not
people
brutal.
hating ass. Do it on the
that's
coach.
not
You hate
true.
fat people.
He's a fattest.
He's the fattest.
No,
Yeah.
I love all you guys.
Yeah. He works so hard.
Yeah. You got to get your money's worth.
Easy.
point.
Yeah.
Easy. So when do you think the next one will be?
So they have another card, I think, in October. So I would like to get to that one. The hardest part about is finding guys my size.
Yeah.
So
Where does that stop at? Where because you're in basically the heavyweight.
it's super heavyweight. Yeah. So they go 225 and over. So
That's what scares the
like
shit out of me.
225.
I'd roll into one of those at 245 and I'd fight a guy like him.
Yeah. So
You know.
I mean,
Eric Hosley, you've seen him before at the gym.
Yeah.
Graduated from Yoda.
Yeah.
Bigger guy. He's down like 238 because he's doing this thing for he works at the prison. And so he's doing this like special response team or something for the prison. And so he was at the fight, and somebody asked like, who's next? Like, who's going to be the next person to compete? We all kind of like pointed at Eric, and Eric just like shook his head. He's like, hell no, not a heavyweight. He was like, that was enough. He was like 225's calling my name.
Did you see the
Like,
picture of the guy he fought?
oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, you
saw
know,
the guy. Yeah, I
Looked
saw
just
it.
like a big old brawler, you know, and I thought, ooh.
Well, I mean, the guy just looked like really thick upper body, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He-
it didn't look like near as good a shape as you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but
He
like,
had a lot of just mass
power.
from his
Yeah.
waist
Big country power,
up to
man.
his shoulders. Yeah, it just looks like he,
and pretty strong chin. It sounds like too.
Yeah, there was a couple clean shots that I landed with my hands, and it wobbled him a little bit, but not anything to the point where I was like, all right, this
You
is
been
gonna
knocked
get
out?
finished.
Yeah.
You
Knocked
been
out?
cold?
I've blacked out before in football, like getting like flash KO'd. But
Yeah.
nothing like where I go
I had
stiff.
the flash KO. I've never
Yeah.
been like slept.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, you know, whenever you see those guys and it wobbles them, I mean,
That's hard to watch, dude.
I would rather
to see a man completely lose control of his body.
Yeah,
yeah, well, and you'll
It's-
see them sometimes like that. It'll happen. It'll kind of leave their arm like,
straight
Oh,
leg.
long.
Yeah, straight arm.
what
yeah.
happens
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
that happens?
So I mean, I don't know. So I just been flash KO'd, in football.
That's
But,
that's basically a concussion.
I would 100%.
Yeah.
I would rather be knocked completely unconscious like that than take a heavy like liver shot or body shot. So I've taken a couple like heavy body shots during sparring, and it is the most strange feeling that you've ever felt. It goes from all the way from your neck all the way down to your toes, and you just getting up, like moving. It's not happening.
And it's there.
Yeah,
It's
not
restricting
going
everything.
away.
It's not going away.
Yeah. So
A lot of
It's
like
not much
blunt
fun.
force, activity right there that's just all hurting.
it's all hurting. Yeah. So the craziest ones, if Shane Burgos is the guy that fights in the UFC, he got clipped real bad. And he was standing up, got hit, and then he kind of stopped for a second. And the next thing you know, he was kind of backing up.
Oh, and then he just fell.
and
I
just
remember that.
fell
Yeah.
over. And it was like, oh my God,
see-
like,
have
is
you
this
ever-
guy okay?
Have you
Like,
ever seen that one? Like,
I haven't seen
like
it.
he gets hit, he stands there for maybe a second or so,
Yes.
and he like takes 2 steps back, and then all of a sudden he just
falls
loses
back
and falls all the way against Cage.
because it's like, what just happened?
Where did he get hit?
And it wasn't, but it wasn't bad.
It
like,
wasn't a huge shot.
Oh.
That's the part that was like kind of scary. Is like, is something like seriously
yeah,
wrong? with
Seriously,
it?
how are they doing that? Is it just the precision of where they're hitting? I mean, are these 170 guys packing that much power, or is
Yes.
it the spot?
It's a mixture of both. But there's people that just, they generate natural power like that.
That's crazy at that
so
size.
if you look like at a lot of those guys that are like that, so like when you look at Connor, like if you look at the way Connor is built, his shoulders are extremely wide. Mm-hmm. And same thing like Israel Adesanya, like they look almost kind of odd, like they're weird, like their body composition is just different. Well, when you throw like hooks, your angle on your power is much different than somebody that has narrow, smaller shoulders, because now the axis of what you're throwing generates a lot more. It's like a whip, right?
Right.
So same thing with your legs, like Mirko Krokop, same thing. And like the way he threw kicks almost coming up instead of straight over, and that was just different because he had the idea of that he could generate more power coming up, and it would like glance off the top part of your forehead. So they have it down to a science. But that's how good those guys are. I mean, it's no different than basketball or football. Like when you watch
it is different
people,
because you're getting your ass knocked out.
well, it's true, but like when you watch, if you watch Steph Curry and he dribbles around the 3-point line, like it's precise. As soon as I know I have this much distance, boom, I shoot, and it goes
and if
in.
I'm in this spot and he's
Exactly.
I'm shooting, yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's just a lot more violent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, brother,
Christ.
you're going to have to come back on the next one. We're going to make a deal right now.
Okay.
Every fight
Deal.
you're coming back within the
Yes.
week. Because one of these days I want you in here, and if somebody ever gets you, you're going to be all
Swollen up.
swollen
I'll
up.
wear it with pride.
I know you will. I know.
Lance, the first time I sparred him at the gym, and the first time is the first time I ever really sparred, and he was going fairly light. He caught me with so many clean shots and had my face, I think it was my left eye that was swollen, not shut, but it was swollen up bad off my cheek, and had a little mouse.
You wear
on it. It was
glasses?
awesome. Yeah, glasses and contacts.
What do you do about your contacts in that?
I always keep them in when I spar, and I always
you keep 'em in the
I
fight?
kept them during the fight
And didn't
because
lose
I've sparred. With,
What if you would? I mean, you
contacts
know how
falling out.
I've been hitting the eye before with
Yeah.
stuff and knocks your contact out.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Your just depth perception gets off. I've sparred with it. It's happened to me before during sparring, and just keep going.
Yeah.
So another Charles Oliveira, who's the 150. Well,
Damn
he
near
was the
blind, isn't he?
155 chief. Yeah,
Yeah, his glasses are
Damn
real
near
thick.
blind. Yeah. Yep.
What's your thoughts on Patty the Batty? He's the new Barstool
Patty,
man. Seen him?
Yeah, the teabagging, not cool. But
Yeah.
what he said afterwards, that was pretty cool. Talking about men's mental health. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not enough people do that at that level. So yeah, it was awesome, and he's fun to watch. I mean, he's kind of like Connor Jr. But that's the problem, is that everybody will always be Connor Jr. or Connor.
Yeah.
I think
follow up.
Connor's going to go down as the Mike Tyson of the UFC. I mean, as far as what do I want to call it, figurehead or
Yeah. Oh, he's
iconic.
icon. Yeah.
Nobody will ever trash talk like that ever. Everybody will always try and mimic that from now on.
the Ali and the Tyson was. I mean, that dude. I don't know. Do you listen to Hot Boxing?
I've listened to a couple, not a ton.
I think it's phenomenal. That's probably my second favorite podcast.
Yeah, I listened to the one with you guys. A complete side note, with you guys and Caleb Wallace.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was that you guys were talking about shoes and fashion, and he was talking about Dunks, like Dunks, the Nike shoes, and I can't remember which one of you said it was like, is that like Tim Duncan's shoe?
Yeah.
And I busted out laughing. I
think it was probably me. Yeah.
I was bush hogging on a tractor. I was listening to it. And all I heard was,
I have no clue. What are they? Are they not Tim Duncan shoes? No. They're not.
It's just a type of basketball shoe.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, Nike Dunks. That's back in the day, man. Big Nike on the back. I mean,
Back in the day, when
I was in high school.
before Tim Duncan's days.
Yeah.
rich asses. Hell, you guys must have been rich. Hell, I remember whatever the school issues what I got for basketball shoes. I did have a pair of Reebok pumps.
Oh, those Tim Duncans. I lost it. I thought it was the funniest thing. That and Bill Seaver calling a mullet the Kentucky waterfall. I busted out
Did Seaver go to your fight?
He was in Boston for his daughter's hockey.
Well, hell's far.
hockey.
He's right beside me.
And he was, so he live streamed it. Yeah, a lot of the people that I talked to that live streamed it said the quality of it was like really good. So I was happy with that.
I didn't even see that. Well, I really couldn't have that Saturday night. Probably.
Yeah.
What time did you say you fought? About 8?
It was about 8. Yeah, 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Well, keep us posted on the next one, man.
Yeah, we'll build it up. We'll look forward to it as soon as you know.
We've kind of taken the summer off. You know?
Yeah, we haven't been real active.
You guys are busy.
Well, we've been busy, and hell, I've got this project going on here, and I got a deadline on it, and just so we're getting ready to probably ramp back up. After
Shout out to Airbnb.
Shout out to Airbnb, yes. Studio above the studio.
That's the studio above the studio.
Ooh, you guys got a nice ring there.
Yeah.
Well, we're thinking just like the last time. I remember that we were kind of struggling to find a time for you guys to come down. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, if need be, I could have said, "Well, just go upstairs."
Yeah.
Just go to work from here. Or whatever,
Absolutely.
But we're going to try to Airbnb that. And we've just had a lot going on. Chad's been in baseball. He's getting ready to start in football. And school's we're both married teachers, so school's getting ready to fire back up.
Gotcha.
So this is you vouch for me. We're getting ready to start hell here.
Oh well,
Monday.
I mean, here's the thing.
Monday we start hell.
In very few households across the United States. Now I grew up in one, so I get it. Like when the summer starts winding down to the end, and these guys got to start facing going back to work, man. It's like, do you like your job? Or I mean, like, because I work from home, so I'm like, hey, when does school start?
Right.
Let's go.
You're looking for a quiet morning.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, because every conference call
Is summer school available?
How are you doing your conference call?
Dude, it's a nightmare.
Why don't you come up here?
I should. A lot of times I just go out on the front porch. And then, so it's like, my boss was laughing at me the other day. He goes, man, with you, it's either like kids in the background and dog barking, or I can tell, he's going outside because I'll hear some birds chirping.
Yeah. Hell, come up here. You can use that anytime.
Yeah.
Hell, I'll clear you off the spot.
Yeah, I probably should. It'd be a lot easier.
Oh, I don't know how you do it. There's no way between Gibson, that damn iPad.
These last, I'll tell you what, man. These last 2 weeks, it's been about enough. I've been telling them, hey, when does school start?
We got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got. I mean, every guy that's married to a teacher, every girl's married to whatever. August 1st, bud. Every year. There's a couple times a year. The last couple weeks of the school year are absolute hell.
Yeah.
And then,
why is that?
Well, because they're burnt. They're fried.
They're tired, and they kind of going to miss their kids and all that stuff.
And there's a lot going on, parties
Yeah,
and just,
yeah.
kids moving on, trying to see, are you holding anybody back? And it just very stressful, very stressful.
Yeah.
And, then you go all summer, you get to about right now. And I'm starting to see the turn right now. It's been great, been peaceful. Everybody's been lovey-dovey. Summers used to seem like forever. Well, now you blink and that summer's over.
Yeah.
And August 1st, it's like feeding a gremlin after midnight, bud. They
They're
just
staring at that.
oh, God. Like you'll say something like, well, hey, what are we going to do tomorrow? Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm running down to my last 2 weeks. I'm not doing nothing.
I got to go in my classroom.
Or
something.
I'm sleeping tomorrow. I'll have to get up soon enough.
Yeah. It's like, that's great.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Then you start into the apocalypse of the first month of school. I'm going to get my ass in trouble for this.
They won't listen.
They won't listen till they hear enough of us. But the apocalypse of then the first month, they're just vanished. They're wiped out.
And the kids too. I mean, the first few weeks of school, it's like you come out. I mean, they get home 3:30, 4 o'clock, and
bedtime.
It's like,
it's
like a war zone.
Dad.
They're all pricks and tired.
Mean.
Bless their heart.
And hungry, mean, and tired.
Yeah.
It's a busy time for them.
So then you spend till about Christmas break getting in that groove.
Christmas break?
Well, at least till Thanksgiving, you're kind of getting in the groove.
About Halloween.
Yeah, about Halloween, you're
settling in.
That's because they got Halloween parties.
Yeah, they're getting excited.
And then you go Christmas break, and that's good. And then, like I said, after the first year, it's gray out. It's Ohio.
Yes, it's cold. No one's going outside.
You get through the winter, and then the last.
But they get snow days.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, really.
A lot of times they have to do the computer at home.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's what Chad and I are getting ready to settle into the next few weeks. So we might have to start doing a bunch of these. I may need some time off.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, man. I'm ready for it. I'll take that on the back end. Get the hell out of my house.
Yeah.
Just podcast with each other. If you guys could
that's what we said. We said we
like
just need to
find like 4 or 5 subjects to just start talking about.
Well, we're getting ready to introduce a new show. We'll be talking about it. but we're getting ready to introduce another show. We told you a little bit about
under our channel here.
under our channel, and we got some events coming up that we're going to be doing. So yeah, we got stuff going on. It's fun, and I mean, we like Prater and AP Prep. This is a great relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
Geiger Brothers, mine. I mean, those guys. It's been cool for all of us. So we're just going to keep going like you.
It's awesome.
So, get a hold of us.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Check out chubbyguyspodcast.com.
Buy some merch.
Buy some merch. We got parkas.
Yeah.
we got Paul Parker. It's almost winter time.
We got
Swimming
hellacious swimming trunks, man.
I didn't have a pair.
You guys got beanies? That'd be perfect.
Yeah, we do. I think so.
Yeah. There's some on there.
Beanies there.
We can.
Yeah.
Nice.
Within 20 minutes. Stick around. So, give that page a like. Hit the subscribe button. See you.